So, dessert?
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
This is fun. This is fun for your son.
Oh, let me
What
see.
is his name?
Cooper.
Cooper. Okay, Cooper's gonna love this because it's chocolate. It's
Yeah.
matzahs.
Okay.
And do you have matzahs in your house ever?
Yes.
Oh, matzahs are so good.
Every Passover.
Yeah,
I have a wonderfully catered Passover.
you do.
Yes, but my mother, of course, sends out her own dishes because clearly mine aren't up to par.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
3/4 of a cup of cream, heated, and 3/4 of a cup or six ounces of semi-sweet chocolate.
So this is the low-calorie version?
Yeah, this is the low-calorie version. But we don't think about that on Passover. And,
No.
No.
You know,
And semi-sweet is good for you. Am I right?
Yeah,
That's
darker
the one
the
that-
chocolate, the better.
Yeah.
So we're just stir that. That's the ganache,
Oh.
okay? And don't cook it because it doesn't have to be. It'll just melt. Look at you have one over there.
Wow. Oh, my
And
God.
that's your matzah to
Yes.
Okay.
spread the chocolate on, and that's yours, Melissa.
Okay, which-
So just spread the chocolate.
There's
from that,
chocolate.
Yeah,
Right,
that
I'm looking for a
bowl.
spoon.
This.
Right, don't you have a spoon there? Yeah, use the
Yeah.
ladle.
Okay, use the
That's
ladle?
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, you go.
I'm probably using the wrong thing.
All right.
I'm just
As
trying
usual.
to be a
No,
good
don't-
So
don't
you
worry.
need 2 matzahs spread with chocolate
Oh, I can do that.
and neatly, if you
Oh,
can.
God.
Just spread it. Do you like this?
Oh, do I like this?
I mean, you could just serve chocolate-covered matzahs.
I'm going to just sit on this.
And you could
It's
sprinkle.
just-
exactly. I just.
You could sprinkle this with a little bit of sea salt, just like that. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
And
Yeah, I
people
don't-
don't realize
okay.
that when you put salt on stuff like sweet, it's so good.
Then this is what you do. You make little rounds of ice cream, and you put 12 little rounds of ice cream on
Wha-
each one.
Just kill me now. It's
4 across and 3 down.
okay. Hold
And look, it's like a math project.
No, but you know, you can do this, and you can make these little mounds of ice cream ahead of
I got
time,
it.
too.
You do yours, I got mine.
Do you have one?
And the pint is exactly right for each one.
Okay. Oh my. Mine's a little messy, but you know that shows it's homemade.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
That's an excuse. That's an excuse, Joan, and it is not appropriate. You can make it neat, Joan. Look.
Mommy, make it tidy.
Neat means caterer.
Mommy, make it tidy. Come on.
This means. Look, she
So
really.
what do you eat like for breakfast?
Oh,
You don't want to know what she eats for
I do,
breakfast.
I do.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, what?
Excuse me.
You told me whatever was left over from dinner last
Yes,
night.
whatever was left over from dinner last
See,
night.
now you press this on like
Okay.
that. Then you put 12 scoops of chocolate chip mint.
Some
you
more.
can do it either way, you know.
All right, you put this
Yeah.
on
You know what
again.
we use is
And-
we love the caramel cone.
Like
that would be
that.
really good on this.
And then for the topping, you make another matzah with the chocolate and sprinkle it with almonds. Now, I'm going to get one out of the freezer that's already done.
Let me ask you, how do you cut this? Because matzah breaks, or you just
Watch.
pick it up like a big sandwich?
Watch, look.
Oh my God.
Here, this is done. I love how it looks.
Oops.
It's a cute dessert, actually.
It's a great-looking
It's very
dessert.
cute. Now I'm going to just take this off the tray. You can put this on a pedestal or something if you want. And watch, it cuts remarkably well, so I've been told.
Look at
See?
that.
Look,
It
with a
does.
serrated knife.
That's a serrated, because matzah
Yes.
usually crumbles.
Yes, well, not when it's frozen. It gets kind of dampish. And you can make this, you know, you can make them as small as you like or as big as you like. But look, it's like a layer cake.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
And this is very cute for it's nice for oh, you can put that down.
I'm gonna.
Oops, oops,
Oh,
oops,
that's
here.
yeah. Thank you.
And
go
then this
chocolate
one is for you, Melissa.
Okay, hold
This
on.
is fabulous.
Look.
But isn't that a cute thing? And if you want to embellish the lily, gild the lily,
Right.
which you like to do, add some more chocolate sauce.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
It's
for
also
me.
how pretty for spring.
Oh, it's so pretty.
How pretty for
It's
spring
so
on a plate.
pretty.
Look at that.
I love this. So, when you start making the macaroon itself, is turn your oven on to 350. That's called preheating the oven. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Sort of, right?
Sort of.
Okay. And we're using something, I just tasted this. It does not taste that good. Unsweetened coconut. Have you tasted it?
No.
Taste some. Just take a little piece. I always taste everything that I use in cooking. It doesn't taste like anything, right? Sort of tastes like sawdust, right?
Yeah.
But it is unsweetened coconut, and so it's actually healthy. Healthy, but it is just dehydrated coconut. And 1/4 of a cup of sugar. That's what's going to make it taste better. And 2 large egg whites. So stir that together, would you, Samara? Yes. And that's basically the dough, so it's very, very easy. And then the little muffin or little tartlet shells, you should spray with the a vegetable spread. So I will hold the spoon like this. You can be a little bit more brisk because every little shred of coconut has to be coated with that egg white, otherwise it won't hold together. So now take a little taste and see what you think. Tastes a lot better, right? See? That's much better.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we need to make 1 tablespoon amounts, and the best way that I find to make uniform anything is to use these ice cream scoops. So I'll put it in here, and then can you sort of press to make it look like that? You can use 2 hands.
Looks cool.
Yeah, see how cute?
They look like mini cupcakes.
You can take it out if you want.
They look
might
like
be-
wrappers, though.
They look like little tart shells, but they're made out of macaroon mix. Now, are you going to have the Seder at your house this year?
Yeah.
And your mom and dad do all the cooking with your help?
Yeah, and my brother's help.
And
He's
your
a
brother.
mini Martha Stewart.
Oh, he is Simon is?
Yes.
How old is Simon?
He's only 4.
Simon is 4 and he's a mini Martha. Oh my God. I can't believe that. So here, we're going to cook now the ganache. So it's a third of a cup of, half a cup of heavy cream, a pinch of salt, and a tablespoon of honey, or 1.5 tablespoons, depending on how sweet you like it. And that cooked cream is going to go
It looks
into...
like a bit of whipped cream that hasn't been whipped yet.
Yeah, that is. It's heavy cream that hasn't been whipped. So stir that together and pour it over a third of a cup of bittersweet chocolate. So there. Now, how old are you?
I'm only 7.
7, and you are very interested in all of this stuff, which is great. So here, you whisk. And as you get that in, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more chocolate in there.
Yeah, I love chocolate.
This is very good, bittersweet chocolate. So that looks good. Try to get all, stir up all around the edges. So what it does is that hot cream just melts all that chocolate very nicely.
Okay.
And then to make it extra smooth, we put it through a sieve. So I have to pour this. Let me get this cleaned off. And you can hold it up over here. And we want it to be glossy and beautiful when it sits in those little cups.
That's cool.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And so this will get out any lumps that exist or anything else. Are you going to make these for Friday, for Passover? Are you going to be the youngest child reading?
Yeah. Well, my brother knows a bit of it.
He does already at 4?
Well, he's been listening to me, and he got the first question pretty much on hang.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh. So now, so what are you going to read or recite? Do you have
I'm
some?
doing the 4 questions.
You are? Can you say those out loud?
I could do 2 of them if
Okay.
you want.
Yes, tell us.
מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות, מכל הלילות, שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים המתו מצה, המתו מצה. הלילה הזה כולו מצה, הלילה הזה כולו מצה.
Wow, that is fantastic. That is so great. Well, your parents will be very proud of you being able to do that. And if you serve this dessert, you will be a true hero.
I'll tell him you teach me how to make it.
Yeah, isn't that great? Okay, so now here is our dessert. Want to taste one?
Yes.
I love these. Those don't have the cream on top, but these do. So here's one for you
Thank you.
and one for me. Tell me what you think. Good? Good? Yes, here. Take these over to your family, and I hope they enjoy them too. Thank you, Samara.
Thank you for
Perfect.
shows.
Thank you.
It's a good thing.
Good, thank you. Someone in the audience has a question. Oh, you have one already? That's
Yep.
fast. Hi.
Hi, Martha. I'm Paula Scheuer from Maryland, and I am a kosher baker. Can you recommend a great Passover dessert for our audience?
Oh, well, I would make, can you do a carrot cake?
Well, you'd have to make it with cake meal and potato
I
starch,
know,
some
but you
kind of
can.
flour substitute.
You should experiment a little bit and make some beautiful carrot cake. Decorate it. Can you use marzipan?
Yes, you can make that homemade.
Yes, so you can make marzipan carrots on the top and make a really extraordinary looking cake. And you can do the flourless chocolate cake, of course. And you can do, I can think of whole lots of macaroons. We're going to show macaroons in another show this afternoon, beautiful macaroons. So you have a lot of options, I think.
Well, thank you very
Good
much.
luck. Next question comes from Twitter. I sent out a tweet this morning, and boy, did we get a lot of responses. Thank you, Twitterers. Deirdre Corrigan asks, my son has food allergies. Do you have any idea where the Easter Bunny can find him a milk and nut-free chocolate bunny? And absolutely, Divvies.com, DIVVIES.com, dairy and nut-free chocolate bunnies are there for the asking and the paying, of course. But go to Divvies because they have all the things that your kids are just dying for and can't have if they have some allergies. So somebody else in the audience with a question? Where's Joey? Joey? Oh, there you are. Okay, hi.
Hi, Martha. I'm Julie from Connecticut. I was wondering if you were going to prepare any traditional Polish dishes for Easter.
Oh, I always do. I do kielbasa. And I found a new maker, it's not new, but in Buffalo, New York, and I'm waiting to get my shipment of kielbasa.
Oh, that sounds
and
good.
Because my favorite, Kurowicki's, closed on First Avenue. They closed a few years ago, and so I haven't been able to find a kielbasa that I liked as well. But I'm looking.
Oh, great.
Anybody have any suggestions, tweet me or email me. And thank you. Yeah, we're going to do a whole lot of good stuff. And then we have Eileen McNulty, asks, can I use disposable plates, cups, and utensils for Easter dinner? I host a large crowd, and it's so much easier to clean up. Well, you can. But, you know, really, if you're hosting big crowds, you should sometime invest just in a stack of really nice dinner plates that are inexpensive. We have beautiful, beautiful plates like at Macy's. Some of the things I was using today are all from our Macy's collection, and that would be a very nice thing to do. And the same with flatware and glassware. Just have a party shelf somewhere in your house that where you keep those multiples of things that you need. And it's not so hard to wash up, especially if you have a dishwasher or a willing husband. And we have one more question in our audience. Hi.
Hi, Martha. I'm Adrian from Palo Alto, California.
Welcome.
Thank you. And my question was, what is an appropriate hostess gift for bringing to a Seder?
Oh, for a Seder. Well, look at our show this afternoon, the one that we're taping this afternoon, and there are delicious macaroons that are unusual. They're egg-shaped, and they're filled with chocolate. So something that you could take a whole beautiful box of, even in egg cartons, or get that flat egg carton, you know, that you can put about 36 eggs in, and fill that with macaroons and wrap with cellophane. Boy, what a nice present.
That sounds lovely.
What are the vegetables?
I mean, you can put whatever you want in it.
Yeah.
The idea is to get as much flavor into the broth as possible. So we would use celery, carrots, garlic, onion. You can use parsnips, sweet potato.
Okay, so all of that looks like it's here.
Yeah.
And thyme and bay leaf.
Thyme and bay leaf. You
Okay.
can use dill, pepper, salt. We would, in my family, often leave the vegetables in, just because it's an excuse to put more vegetables into your
Yeah.
kids' bodies. But
It looks like a little tiny, the soup is almost done, so what has to be done to this now?
well, we want to add a little bit of dill. We have here half a cup of dill, actually, and some.
Yeah, it definitely needs some seasoning.
Yeah, well.
But you can taste
We'll
vegetables.
do it. A little bit of pepper. And some salt, probably a lot of salt.
Yes.
And then, obviously, the magic ingredient in a matzo ball soup
Is
are the
the-
matzo balls.
Now we have Grandma Ethel here. I'm so pleased to have her here.
Yeah.
Hi. And we need your hands to make the matzo balls.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to do them for us. You have to show us.
Okay.
Because you have to watch the expert, right? I mean,
She's
you might be an
the
expert.
world
Take
expert.
But
4
she's-
eggs.
4 eggs, okay. Now,
You
Grandma
beat it.
Ethel watched my mom cooking. She
Then
remembers
you
her.
put a pinch of salt,
Okay.
a pinch of
Pepper.
pepper, some salt, canola oil,
Oh, so canola oil. Okay.
a half a cup salsa water,
Okay. So it has to be seltzer.
Yeah,
Can it be club soda?
Yeah, maybe use it. It's better, you know.
Don't change the recipe. Seltzer water. Okay.
Fantastic.
So where do you
And
get
then you
seltzer
put
water
in
now?
the
It doesn't come like
matzo meal.
seltzer anymore.
Grocery store.
So 1 cup of matzo meal.
Yeah,
but now,
right.
what kind of matzo meal?
Yeah.
What
the
kind?
Straight. Or
Straights, okay.
Manischewitz, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm always looking at those boxes. I don't know which one to get, so I'll get.
We'll advertise their product.
Yes. Okay, so then you let that sit?
Then you put it in the frigidaire for 1 hour, and you take it out and you make the matzo balls.
Okay, so here, we have it right
Yeah.
here. So now do you take a spoon
I
or
use,
your fingers? Okay, you do it.
you know,
Water your hands. I want to make some too.
excuse me, Mark.
Okay, and you put it
And I
right,
put it in the
you put it
boiling
right in the water? Okay,
And I cook it for 20 minutes.
okay. So simple.
I came from Europe, and I went through the war. I was very lucky. I escaped Hitler.
Yeah, lucky.
Luck and intuition. And I ended up in Asia.
In Asia, where?
Yeah.
What country did
In
you, what
Kazakhstan.
country?
I was born and raised in Poland. No, I came from Germany, from the displaced person camp. And there was Americans, and they took care of us.
Well, how great. In Kazakhstan? In Kazakhstan? Did you
Yeah,
say?
Kazakhstan.
In Kazakhstan, wow.
Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, you know, I was
Yeah.
on the run all the time. You know, because
And
Hitler was so
has
fast.
survived to have famous sons. Oh my God, the most wonderful, wonderful grandsons. Amazing,
Yeah, you grandson.
amazing. So these cook for 15 minutes, and we have
And
some
then,
here.
yeah,
Oh,
and
do they
I
get
drained
big?
that, and I put it in the soup.
Look,
Oh God, they
Plump.
look beautiful.
Plump. So how many?
I'll serve out some.
How many go in a bowl? How many, Ethel? Ethel?
Yeah.
How many of these in a bowl?
How
Two?
many? Whatever. Some eat a lot. 2 is enough.
Two's enough?
No, some of
No,
my
I
grandsons
need-
can
ooh,
eat
I
a
need
little
3.
more than
Oopsies.
2.
I need 3. 3 for me.
Here we go.
Oh my gogosh, look how
Here's a
beautiful this is.
You taste it. Mark.
Oh, I will.
I remember your mother very well.
Mother would have loved this soup.
Yeah, God. I used to watch you on the television.
This is really good.
Everybody likes
Thank
it
you.
too.
Oh, they
Little
do.
kids
Oh,
like everybody
yes.
likes it.
Oh, it is so good. I'm going to take home some to baby Jude.
Okay, good day.
When I was growing up on Elm Place in New Jersey, in Nutley, New Jersey, every single home had its version of pot roast. At our house, the pot roast was born out of frugality. It was a dish made with inexpensive cuts of meat and basic root vegetables cooked together in the same pot. And that meal stretched to make meals for days to come, even in a family like ours of 6 kids and 2 adults. And today, well, the pot roast is still a favorite money-saving dish. This is one of my favorite things to do, braise a nice chunk of meat like this chuck eye roast. First step is to brown the meat. Very essential. You want a good-looking piece of brown meat when you're finished. And you can't brown meat in liquid. It just won't brown. Even in the oven, it just won't brown if there's any moisture whatsoever. So we're going to brown the meat first in a little bit of olive oil right in the pot in which we're going to make the pot roast. Before you brown it, put some salt and pepper all over it. A generous amount, rub it into the meat. Pre-seasoning is a really important part of the process. It's good to keep a piece of paper, parchment paper, under the meat. That way you really keep your counter clean. And when working with raw meat, remember to wash your hands after, and remember your pepper should be freshly ground, your salt, a good quality. Okay, ready to start browning. Quite hot in the bottom of this pan. You're gonna hear a lot of sizzling there. And don't try to turn the meat until it easily releases. It'll tell you when it's ready to turn. Smells good already. Now, most pot roasts, most braises start with a mirepoix, which is a combination of aromatic vegetables, generally an onion, a carrot, and a stalk of celery. And we're just going to cut the onion into thin slices like this. Coarsely chop the celery and carrots, which have been peeled. The same combination of vegetables is called a sofrito in Italian. So they're ready to go. I think we can try to turn the meat. Lifting easily. This is a very wonderful piece of meat, browning perfectly. Look at that fabulous color that it's getting. That's what you want on your finished pot roast. You'd want a nice dark exterior and a well-cooked, silky result. The meat has been tied. That holds the shape. The browning of the meat takes about 8 to 10 minutes. Have patience. It's worth it. Now remove the meat to a baking sheet. There. Oh, great looking. So delicious. And now to the pot. Just add your lovely onions, your thyme, bay leaf, peppercorns, carrots, and celery. And you don't really want to brown the onion as much as make it translucent in the olive oil. For most braising, you would have this kind of a base of vegetables in the bottom of the pan. This takes 2 or 3 minutes. And if they start to cook too much, you can add just a little bit of water to stir up the brown bits. And I'm going to do that right now, just a little bit. Well, the onion has softened, the celery too. Carrots take a little bit longer because they're harder, but it's ready and time to add the flour. Just 1 tablespoon of flour will do, and cook that well done. You don't want to have a floury taste. And the flour allows the liquid to be absorbed and sauce to thicken. If the flour is well done, add the rest of your water. And so altogether we've added about 1 1/4 cups of water. Now some people might want to add a little bit of red wine, beef stock, veal stock, vegetable stock. It really doesn't matter, but I think water just works very well, and about 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar for a little bit of acidity. So can you see how it's thickening? So now, just lower the heat so it's simmering but not boiling, and the liquid should come up only about 1 inch on the sides of the meat. And here goes our meat. Cover it tightly, and with less liquid in the pot, you'll need to watch it more carefully and turn the roast more frequently. Just cook, turning every 30 minutes until tender, 2.5 to 3 hours. So now the meat is quite beautiful. Remove it carefully to a baking sheet like this. You're going to put the meat back in, but we want to cook the rest of the vegetables. And we want to strain this gravy. So into a bowl, just strain, and we'll also take out a little bit of the fat. So all the aromatics have really cooked down. Press them through the sieve as much as you can. So this is basically the gravy and the sauce. Put this back into the pot. But you see you have a pretty nice brown gravy. It's very, very tasty. And the vegetables, about 3/4 pound of carrots, of turnips, and of tiny baby potatoes. You can use quarters or sliced potatoes, thickly sliced potatoes too. This is the nice turnip. And peel the turnip, and I'm cutting it into wedges, sort of like apples for an apple pie. And now turn the heat back on. Once this comes back to a simmer, put the meat back on top, cover, and cook for another 15 to 20 minutes or until the vegetables are tender to the point of a knife. So the meat is out of the gravy. It looks really tender and so delicious. Now remove carefully the trussing strings. Now it's important to let the meat rest for about 10 or 15 minutes, because if you try to slice it when it's really, really hot, it may just completely fall apart. This is a very tender cut of meat. Now, that looks like pot roast. Grandma Gilbert's, Grandma Roskovsky's, Grandma Kostira's, my mother's, mine, and now yours. The meat has reached the right consistency. When it is silky, can be shredded easily, and the meat should be very, very tender, but firm enough just to slice so it looks like that. Now that looks really good, braised pot roast. We're now making a one-pot pot roast. This is a very good recipe, and it is so easy. You're going to fall back on this recipe a lot during the years to come. A crock pot is the essential one pot. I like these beautiful crock pots where the insert comes out so easily. Some crock pots actually have a browning liner for their pot, and you can use that too if you want to brown your pot roast. But this recipe works really, really well just the way it is. In 2 tablespoons of chicken broth, soften 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. This is the thickener for your gravy, and that's all you need. It sounds like very little, but it's a perfect amount for what we're doing. And this gets put right into the pot. And the meat, well, this is a 3-pound piece of well-marbled chuck. This is a very nice piece of meat. We have 4 cloves of garlic that have been grated. Rub the garlic all over the exterior of the meat. Now, salt and pepper all over your meat. On the ends too, don't forget the ends. And a little bit of black pepper. Now into the bottom of the crock pot, 1 yellow onion, peeled and cut up into thin wedges, 2 carrots that have been quartered and cut into about 2-inch pieces. This is really the base for the pot roast, all these vegetables. 1 pound of small Yukon Gold potatoes. If they're this size, and they're quite small, you can just arrange these on top of the carrots and onions without cutting. And Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons, which is an old-fashioned seasoning. Really does add a unique flavor to the gravy. And some tomato paste, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. And I really do prefer tomato paste in a tube like this. You know how you open those little cans and you only use 3 tablespoons, and then there's a few more left, and you never seem to need it while it's still fresh and good. So by the tube really works well. And a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of broth. This can be beef broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, whatever is on hand. And then your beautifully seasoned meat goes right on top. Cover. Turn on high for 5 hours or on low for 8 hours. And this is what the pot roast looks like after 5 hours on high. It is really delicious smelling. Just put it on a platter like this, and no one will believe that you cooked Grandma's fabulous pot roast in a crock pot while you were at work. What a great meal to come home to. Enjoy.
Transfer cooked egg noodles to a bowl and toss with butter. In a separate bowl, whisk together milk, eggs, sugar, vanilla extract, salt, and sour cream. Next, stir in cottage cheese and golden raisins and add to the noodles. For the topping, stir together cornflakes, sugar, and cinnamon. Sprinkle evenly and dot with butter. Bake this about 1 hour and serve. In a large bowl, break matzah into small pieces. You'll need 3 cups. Add 1½ cups roughly chopped pecans, 1½ cups sliced almonds. Mix together. Transfer to a rimmed baking sheet that's been sprayed with nonstick cooking spray and bake at 325 degrees until toasted. In a saucepan over medium-low heat, combine 6 tablespoons of margarine, a half a cup light brown sugar, 4 teaspoons ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon coarse salt, a half a cup honey. Cook, stirring until mixture is well combined. In a large bowl, pour margarine mixture over the toasted matzah. Mix together until evenly coated and transfer to a rimmed baking sheet sprayed with non-stick cooking spray. Bake at 325 degrees, stirring frequently, about 10 to 15 minutes. Once cool, break into pieces over a large bowl. Mix in a half a cup golden raisins, a half a cup dark raisins, the perfect treat to share with friends and family this Passover. It's a good thing. To 1 stick of melted unsalted butter, add 1 cup packed dark brown sugar. Cook over low heat, stirring until the sugar is dissolved and begins to bubble. Drizzle the hot mixture over 2 sheets of matzah on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Spread to coat and transfer to a 250-degree oven and bake until toffee has a rich sheen, about 10 to 20 minutes. While still hot, sprinkle with 2 cups semi-sweet chocolate chips. Tent the matzah with foil and let stand until the chocolate melts. Spread the melted chocolate evenly and sprinkle with flaky sea salt. Let cool in the fridge for about 2 hours. It's a good thing.
You have to start with a really good chicken. This is a very nice 3.5-pound chicken. And then 1 lemon sliced, a couple sprigs of rosemary, a couple cloves of garlic, a little bit of room temperature butter, salt and pepper, a trussing string, and importantly, a meat thermometer. A little white wine for deglazing, and that's really all it takes to have the perfect roast chicken. Let's get to the recipe. Start with the perfect chicken. This is a beautiful organically grown chicken. The giblets are inside. Reserve those. And don't forget to wash the bird. Very important to start with a clean bird. Cold water inside, neck cavity, and shake it dry and dry it with paper toweling. Dry it really well, especially on the outside, because that will help the skin crisp up. And you want a crispy outer skin and a succulent, juicy inside. And now we want to season with salt and pepper inside. And just make note that I am not using my fingers in the salt and pepper. I'm using these little scoops, which really help keep the salt and pepper bowls clean. Also, 1 lemon sliced into 1/4-inch rounds. Just put those in the cavity. But these things that I'm adding, 3 or 4 sprigs of fresh rosemary, this really helps impart a great deal of flavor to the meat of the bird. And 3 cloves of peeled garlic. So now you're ready to truss. And I like to use a little board that gets washed in the dishwasher. And remember to wash your hands well after doing all of this. Now truss the bird. Then we will spread the whole skin with softened butter. Tuck the wingtips under. That helps keep the bird roasting evenly, and those little wingtips will burn if you don't tuck them under like that. Tuck the neck skin under, and then right over the neck bone like that, place your string, and then you come up over the drumsticks like that. Trussing a bird like this allows the meat to roast at the same time. Now spread the butter. About 2 tablespoons. Room temperature butter. Do this with your fingers. Just smear it on the dry skin. Now the butter all over the skin like this adds flavor, but it also aids in the browning process of the skin. You want a crispy brown skin while you're maintaining a very nice, soft, and succulent interior. Now a little bit more salt all over the outside. Really flavors the skin, and pepper. Now place this bird right on a rack in a heavy bottomed roasting pan. This is a perfect pan for a chicken this size. It will roast very nicely in a 450-degree oven. Now because the back of the oven is hotter than the front generally, I would suggest putting the drumsticks toward the rear of the oven and the breast toward the front. And when done, the thermometer should read 165 degrees when inserted into the thickest part of the thigh, approximately 50 minutes. So here's the roasted bird. Untruss it. Remember, it is 165 degrees in the thickest part of the thigh. And you can take the strings off and remove the bird itself to a platter. It's a little hot. I'll lift it up. A prettier view, don't you think? And now take out the rack. There's not too much in the way of drippings, which is probably a good sign, but if there's a little bit of fat, spoon out the fat. What you want are just those little brown bits here. And just spoon just the fat. And then you deglaze the pan with about a half a cup of white wine. And turn the heat on high. And a half a cup. Bring that to a boil and use one of these flat wooden spoons. This is the greatest spoon because it really allows you to scrape what's left in the pan up. Once this starts to boil and dissolve those brown bits, those caramelized juices, it will come up very nicely. So the white wine is almost reduced. And now just add 1 or 2 tablespoons of butter to enrich the sauce. Let that melt into the chicken juices and the white wine. See a little tiny bit left in the strainer. Just things that you wouldn't necessarily want to eat. Now give the sauce a taste. Needs a little bit of salt. Not much. Perfect. That little tiny bit of salt added just enough flavor. There we have the sauce. You can put that in a little gravy boat or in a bowl. You have your roasted chicken. It's ready to take to the table and carve up for your family. Roast chicken.
Our one pot lesson for today takes place on a baking sheet. You can use a heavy-duty baking sheet like this with the low sides, which really helps in oven browning and cooking. This recipe calls for a half a head of Savoy cabbage. That's the curly cabbage. And cut it into a rough slaw. And 1 large bunch of Tuscan kale. This is a dark green, very nutritious vegetable that has become very popular in the last year or so. Kale is really the it vegetable right now. 2 tablespoons of olive oil and some freshly ground black pepper. I'd say about 1/4 teaspoon. And half a teaspoon of salt. Toss and make sure the leaves are well coated with the oil. Get this right on a baking sheet. Oh, and by the way, did I mention preheat your oven to 450 degrees? Great. Now just put this on your baking sheet. Spread it in an even layer. And get that right into the oven for 6 minutes. The greens have cooked for 6 minutes. They're wilted. They smell really, really good. And here are our salmon fillets, 4 to 6 ounces each. Boneless, skinless. Seasoned very lightly with coarse salt and freshly ground pepper. It's important to season though. Now this is wild salmon, and this gets nestled in amongst the greens. Season the other side with coarse salt and freshly ground pepper. And nestle right amidst the greens. Cabbage, kale, fresh, red, beautiful wild salmon. What could be better? Get this back in the oven and cook for approximately 10 minutes. My rule of thumb is 10 minutes per inch of thickness of fish. And this looks just about an inch thick. And while that's in the oven for 10 minutes, prepare a vinaigrette. This is a delicious lemony mustardy vinaigrette. 1 teaspoon of finely zested lemon peel. Always zest your lemon before you cut it. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Squeeze that right into the bowl. 1/4 cup of dill. And generous teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Some salt and pepper. And mix this together and then drizzle in approximately 1/4 cup of olive oil. Use a whisk, works very, very well. Makes a nice creamy vinaigrette. You see how simple a meal for 4 can be if you use our new one-pot cookbook. It is a phenomenal book, and it's full of amazing recipes, 120 recipes that'll make your life so, so much easier. There you go. So the vinaigrette is ready. Now all we have to do is wait for the fish. So now it's done. It's ready to eat. Divide evenly the 4 pieces of salmon with the beautiful cabbage and kale right onto your dinner plates. A really healthy and delicious meal in less than 30 minutes. Just spoon over that tablespoon or so of the lemony dilly vinaigrette, and you have a really healthy and nutritious main course in less than 30 minutes and only 1 pot to clean. It's a great recipe, and you're going to love it. Enjoy.
So this is the flourless chocolate cake
this
dessert.
This is it's a the cake is got a little bit of a pudding quality to
Yeah.
it. So it's
I love this kind of cake.
yeah, it's great. So we have our chocolate that's already melted.
Okay.
It's some dark chocolate. It's a little bit of milk chocolate and the eggs. I'm sorry,
It's
and the butter.
yeah.
Excuse me.
So it's like 11 ounces. All this is on the website at marthastewart.com, by the way, so we're not going to leave you in the lurch for this delicious dessert, but 11 ounces of,
11
dark
ounces
chocolate?
dark chocolate, 2 ounces of milk
Okay.
chocolate, 8 eggs.
Okay.
Egg yolks, excuse me.
Okay, but 3/4 cup of unsalted butter,
Yes.
all melted to this beautiful, glistening chocolate. Okay.
Keep
So-
wanting to go on to the eggs, don't I?
Okay, so here's 8 large egg
Exactly.
yolks. Okay.
8 egg yolks. We also have a 1/2 cup of the light brown sugar
Oh.
and 1/3 cup of regular sugar in here.
And beat that up until it's a ribbon?
We're going to beat it into the ribbon stage, but I like to take it even further. I like it till it gets the color almost of mayonnaise.
Oh,
So,
good. Okay.
ribbon stage is a good thing to go by, but this
Is
thing
that
just
one
keeps,
almost-
yeah, as light as you can get
Okay.
it. You
With
can
the- with
beat
the
it
whisk.
and beat it and beat it, yeah.
Okay.
The whole time you're doing this,
Okay.
be beating that. Yep, that's done
Okay.
enough. So we'll take this.
Yeah, so look, everybody, look at the color. It is beautiful. I'll do that for you.
Okay, there you go.
I'll do all the hard work stuff.
Oh, I love it. I'm just going into a bigger bowl for not a really good reason, except for that it's a little bit easier to mix together
Okay.
and to control. So this is a very light cake.
Now, do you make this often in the restaurant?
I make this every day.
Oh,
in
you
the
do?
restaurant, Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm the pastry chef right now, so.
Oh, and should I add the vanilla?
Yes, add a little vanilla. It
A-
doesn't really, you can,
A tablespoon.
tablespoon of vanilla,
Okay.
and also just a pinch of salt.
I think that's important.
And I'm going to fold this into it, or maybe
Yeah.
you would do this. We're going to fold it because we really want to keep this cake light.
Okay. I'll do that. And then
Thank
you have
you.
the egg whites already.
Yeah, we're going to go over check our egg whites. We want these to be stiff peaks. We're going to take a little bit of this.
Looks beautiful. And this is going to taste really dark, right?
Yes. We're going to start with just a little bit to fluff in
Okay.
there. Incorporate just a little bit.
Okay.
It gives you a little bit of a starter before we add in the rest of
My
ours.
favorite thing to do. Okay.
Okay. We're going to add the rest of our egg whites, excuse me.
And what about the pan? How's that prepared?
Okay, the pan. This is, what we like to do is we like to do it in a water bath. And so that'll keep that pudding cake, sort of quality on the bottom of it.
Right.
We wrap in the outside of a springform pan with
so
2
it doesn't-
layers.
So it doesn't leak.
So it doesn't leak and the water doesn't get inside of it.
Okay.
I like to line it and spray it several different times because I just don't like to leave anything to chance.
Okay.
So I'll spray it, I'll put my liner and I'll spray it again. And
So this is folding nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to have hot water, though, to put into these baths. Sometimes
Right.
people forget that. And so you
Because
need to
it's
have,
a bain-marie.
yeah, and you want everything to sort of be at
Right.
the same temperature.
Okay, does that look well enough
That
incorporated?
looks well enough.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to take that. We're going to add it to our cake pan. This is going to go in the oven for about at 350 degrees for about 50 minutes.
Okay.
This is a cake that has to be kind of timed out. So if you think that it doesn't look like it's done yet, don't worry about it. Pull it out, and you'll
Okay.
have a good quality cake.
Okay,
there.
so don't forget to put the hot water.
Yes,
Okay.
hot water is very important.
Okay.
Okay. The topping. This is mascarpone cheese. Mascarpone cheese has got a little bit of acid to it, which is really nice for extracting colors out of things like peppermint.
Oh.
And it also works
So
as
that's
a good
crushed
condiment.
peppermint candies?
These are crushed peppermint
Just
candies.
those?
Just those, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I was kind of hoping I got to crush them on TV because
Oh.
they're fun, because I like smashing
They,
things.
and they left it. They left. No, they said no.
No, well, it's too noisy, I guess.
All right, I don't know. I could give you a
Too
rolling
graphic.
Pin. How, what do you do it with?
So,
A rolling pin? Oh, that.
there we go.
did it.
Anything good and sturdy.
Look at that. Yeah, that's perfect.
We're going to add a little bit of our sugar to it.
Oh, so that's so easy to crush.
No, it's not. And big pieces like that
Yeah.
are great because it kind of melts in there and it gives
Okay.
little streaks. So we put a little bit of
So
sugar in there.
mascarpone cheese with peppermint patties.
Yep.
Yum.
Whipped cream. Okay. The mascarpone also works great as a great stabilizer for the mascarpone cream. When it's just whipped cream, you have to go
have
whipping
some
and beating it
chocolate
again.
on your fingers.
Do I? Lucky me.
Yeah. I'll
Lucky
just
me.
clean your fingers. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. Like I said, you know, my mom's going to be watching this, so she'll probably have something new to tell me. Okay, so
So
we're
now
gonna-
those are the cutest.
These are-
I never thought of doing that. You just take a candy and put it on there, and it melts at what
Yeah.
temperature?
This is at, what do we do, 350 degrees for about
Look.
5 to 7 minutes.
Look.
It has a great side, and the other side is really cool, too. See if I can
Yeah,
get one up.
look.
But you can use the other side.
Yeah.
to sort of
I
present.
like the shiny side.
Yeah. So
How beautiful.
here's our finished cake. We got to unload our springform pan. Take a little cut. This one was done spectacularly.
Okay.
Excuse me. The pretty stuff that goes there, just like that. A little garnish. Pick a
Here,
good one.
this
Which one
one.
we
This
like?
one's loose.
Okay. Garnish our cake like that. And
Oh
we've
boy.
got very
And there you
simple-
have a decadent dessert. Very decadent.